Hello and welcome to NewFilmmakers Los Angeles. My name is Danny De Lillo. I'm delighted to be joined with Pedro with his fantastic movie Rocket. And we're doing this virtual thing all the way from LA to Brasilia, which is amazing, the capital. Thanks so much for being here, Pedro. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Doing great. Fantastic. Thank you for being here. Well, we're going to go, for those that haven't seen it, let's take a look at the clip.
Marcos? Você sabia que Marcos foi o nome do primeiro astronauta brasileiro a ir ao espaço? Todos colocarem capacete de proteção! Próxima parada, espaço! Oi, Bruna! Oi, calma, a escola tá chamando, vem!
I wish I could showcase my love for your film in person, but I'm glad we get to still do this, okay? Pedro, thank you so much for your film. I loved it so much. For those that haven't seen it, tell us a brief synopsis.
Thanks for that, Danny. And okay, so Rocket is this intimate story about a father and a son, which growing up in the same playground landmark, which is the Rocket, placed in the city park in Brasilia, the capital of Brazil. And if I could, I think it's a movie that involves themes as family, childhood, friendship, and fears. And if I could summarize the movie in just one word, I would say affection for sure.
It's so much affection in this film. It was just such a great joy to watch and just see just nostalgia and memories and generational, how we're all enjoying this same thing through the generations. It was a really beautiful film to watch. Now, I know you kind of reveal it in the film, but where did the inspiration come from in making this particular film?
My father has this friend named Carlos Apollo. It's the one who appears in the end. And Carlos just told me his story about this guy who was afraid to climb up and down the rocket. And in the first place, I thought was too challenging. I thought it was a big story for me. I don't know how to say that, but it was so challenging because, I had 10 actors, 8 of them just kids. All the shooting was outside shooting. And so we were depending on sunny light. And as soon as I get the opportunity to understand his background and his story, I just saw this opportunity to make a relatable movie, relatable story. So the people here in Brasilia could watch the movie and say, hey, this is the Rocket. This is the place where I used to go when I was a little kid. And I went with my parents there just to make picnics or having fun during a sunny day. And not just for people here in Brasilia, but the people from another country or outside Brazil or outside Brasilia to watch this movie and say, hey, I also have this place that reminds me my childhood. And I also have this friend who gave me his hand and helped me in that situation. So I just fell in love with this story and how great it is to make a story that people could see themselves in the screen. Yeah.
I love it. I love it so much. I love how you made this story. Firstly, it's something that's personal in your own life. And then it's personal to the city of Brasilia, and then extending to the country, to it being universally, something that we can all kind of, relate to. Now, listen, I know you firstly, as you said, the whole thing is outside. That's a challenge, working with children can be a challenge too,
Yes,
and then just there's a lot of movement in this production. So you've got to really articulate that. How was all of that process for you? Is it okay?
Okay. I gotta say that this movie is so special for me because I learned a lot with it. And when I say that, I mean, I know every single movie that you made, you will learn something new. But Rocket was this, despite was my second short film. The first one I did it when I was in an exchange program in Canada. I just had some friends, a camera, an idea, and made a movie. But this one is just the starting point, I think, with real actors, real crew, the big crew and budget. So this was just a long way to say this movie was very challenging for me in many points, including the children's and including the location as well. And I was 17 in that moment, so it was everything like very new for me, and I'm always learning with it. But I gotta thank you every single one from the crew just to trusting me and trust to tell this story and trust the actors. You know, when you direct kids, I think you direct also the kid and the parents.
Yeah.
Because you gotta direct them, like the kids, that they're excited, they want to do that, but also parents have questions, their ambitions. So I just have to thank the parents, just trust me and trust all the crew to make this a story, and I'm glad I did.
Pedro, you did a very good job, and I can tell that you put a lot of thought and hard work. Every single movement, just every shot just told a story in itself. And I was mesmerized by your cast. I really thought everyone did such a fantastic job. Tell us a little bit about your casting process and how you work with your cast as a director.
Okay, the casting process. I have an acting background. I used to work in the company here in Brasilia, a theater company who also offers theater classes for children. So as soon as I got this story, I look at like 8 kids in the cast. I said, okay. I ran to the company and say, I gotta cast 8 kids. So it was very nice process because the kids were not random kids, they were actors. So makes a difference when the kid wants to be there, wants to tell that story. And in the set, like during the scenes, I make one thing that made the difference, which was between setups and between scenes, we used to play a lot. So hide and seek, or run and catch, just throw a ball, just to make them energetic and make them warm. So every single scene, I had to make sure they were there and having fun. So between setups, I just play with them, and it was
I love that.
very nice. Yes,
that's so good, because I mean, it's, as I say, of course they're playing, but to kind of maintain that playful energy and everything, like it was a joy to watch.
In the pre-production, we also had a time just to introduce themselves to each other, because one thing I needed was the kids need to be friends. They need to know each other. So we had this time when we were just in a room playing games, having fun, talk to each other, like no responsibilities, no work to do. So just the time for getting to know each other. And it was awesome. And also, I have to thank you, José de Campos, which was my friend that helped me with this process with the cast. So yeah.
No, it was really good, and there were so many wonderful sentimental moments and generational sentimental moments, for the father and son. It was loved it. I'm so curious, like, you said this film obviously means a lot to you. I'm curious, what's the reaction been like, particularly for like your city as well? Like, what's the reaction been like for you, Pedro?
As I said, it's all new to me. Yesterday was my first Q&A with the audience.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the movie premiered in New York Latino Film Festival during the pandemic. So I didn't have the opportunity to have a festival in person, or a screening. So just online chats and people talking to me, like calling me. But it's very nice. I mean, I feel so grateful, and I feel like I really like the opportunity that I got being a film director to make these stories
Yeah.
that are relatable, that
Yeah.
people, the audience can say me, hey, I saw me on the screen. So that's my like ultimate goal. To make the
Wow.
audience to be inspired and to feel relatable, to feel related with this.
Definitely. I mean, I tell you, it's so funny. I watched it and I was like, I wish I could go back in my childhood and get over
That's
the
so
silly
nice.
little fears that I had. Like, those things that you had as a fear as a child. I'm like, God, I wish I was just a bit more brave enough than what I was. And I just love that element to it so much. And I think one thing that I love so much that is so good is that we're in a very technology world now, and it's heavy. And I sometimes worry about young people and their opportunity to play. And I think it was just so nice because it was so like they were just playing with their own imaginations, Was that kind of something you thought about? But I just love that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. When we were like making the pre-production, I was sure I would love to make a movie that make not just the audience, but also the actors like in the scenes, to make their imaginary like just flies, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
no, it worked. It was great.
Yeah, I wanted to make the movie not just for children, but also for adults. So when I talked with my sound designer, I said, okay, I need this. I don't know how to say that in English. This radios, the walkie-talkies, right? The walkie-talkies. Yeah. So this walkie-talkies, I need them to make a sound, so the people really feel they are working, and I need the sound of the rocket, so the people really feel in it. So yeah, that's definitely one thing I think I thought about it. Yeah.
It's so funny because I watched your film and then I put down afterwards my phone and I was like, I'm going outside and I'm not taking my phone with me.
That's so nice.
And so anyways, your film, how much I love it. Now, I know obviously I'm so glad that your film is getting the reception it deserves. And we are, of course, honored to have it at NewFilmmakers LA. What was it like, particularly being in this particular program, partnered with the Academy? And how's that experience been with NFMLA and the Academy and everything else? Has it been good?
Awesome. I have no words for this. For all you guys, you've done so great work. I have to thank you, New York, New Filmmakers LA, and the Academy for this, because being from Brazil and based in Brazil right now, I just feel so far from the industry. So programs like that, festival like that gives me this opportunity to talk, to show my art, to tell my stories is so important. So I'm really, really glad for this chance to, to be in here and show my movie. Thanks very much for that.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm so excited for many more movies. You're super talented, and we're just very happy to have you part of our filmmaking family. Which brings me on to say, what is next for you? What next are you working on?
Okay, so I'm currently working on my thesis short film. I'm in my last year of college. I'm 21 right now. And it's this movie about this young guy called Danilo. He's a 20 years old guy who is the manager of his family stationery shop. And his biggest dream is to become a successful concept artist for video games. But while Danilo doesn't break into the industry, he has to deal with the store bankruptcy, also his parents who don't understand his career ambition. And all this pressure makes Danilo overwhelmed at the point that he starts to experience bizarre and scary things. So it's this movie, this coming of age movie, psychological thriller, drama, kind of fantasy a little bit. And
that's great. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. I'm writing a script right now, and it's a movie that definitely I would say I should watch it. And I'm making not just for me, because I'm definitely think I'm the one who should watch this movie, but I'm making for young artists as well. Like the artists, the young people, they are in that age that they are discovering how is to be an adult, how is to be an artist. So yeah, I'm excited. And I'm also have plans on applying for a master's degree abroad.
Yeah.
Just to keep keep improving my craft. And
yeah,
you know, I
hey,
hope
listen,
AFI.
you're doing great things. You're doing great things. You know, I'm very excited for your career. I want you to keep making more movies for us, please, because we love what you've done with Rocket, and it's very exciting what's coming up for you. But congratulations on your film.
Thank you
Well
very much,
deserved.
Danny. Yeah,
and we can't wait to have you in person at New Filmmakers LA one day as well.
I hope so too.